Now it's time for the No BS Sports Zone podcast. What's going on, everybody? Robb here for the No BS Sports Zone. Won't be doing any pictures, graphics, or anything like that today. However, we will be getting to the sports topics at hand. Number one, I want to talk about the Ivy League canceling their 2020 fall season, possibly starting back up in the spring or maybe even early as January. This is huge because the coronavirus has been such a thorn in the side of so many of us. I know me personally, I've missed games for the network. I also cover the Legacy Maker Sports Network for baseball. When you talk about field hockey, things like that. When I was covering for Richmond University, and for the Ivy League, I don't think people understand the domino that this could have. You have these presidents at these Ivy League schools who are very intelligent. I mean, you've got to be intelligent, of course, to go to places like Brown, Cornell, things like that. And these guys have knowledge, and for them to cancel some of these bigger conferences have to ask themselves, what data do we need to gather? What do we need to do to make sure that we're doing the same thing? Because, these guys have such standards and they have such respect in the academic world that you have to look at them and say, what are these guys doing that we're not doing? And what kind of decisions that do we need to make that will allow us to make those same critical decisions when it comes to not only preserving health, but even looking at the future of college sports. Right now, like for example, you look at Stanford, I think they cut like 11 sports. That's huge. A lot of teams, a lot of colleges are cutting out sports because football is the creme de la creme. That's why when I hear people talking about, we should go ahead and, pay the players and all that, I don't think people really understand that, there's so much money that comes in. However, a lot of these schools really don't have all that money that you think they have. So a lot of sports are going to get cut out. So a lot of people are going to be missing out. So the future of just college sports in general is at risk here. And if this coronavirus goes longer than a year, if it goes to a 2 or 3 year type thing, we could be looking at the end of college sports. And I believe that the Ivy League is looking at that like, you know what, guys, we need you guys to understand that this pandemic could last a long time and it could be the end of things. So, for them to cancel, especially football season, when you have, the Harvards and the Yales who always have huge games and things like that, it's a huge thing. Moving on to the next topic, let's stick with college. We're going to go to the Big Ten, where they announced they're only going to have in-conference games. That's huge because I know they may have had some games outside of conference that, could help benefit other schools. Every single year you have schools that'll play another school, a small school playing a big school, where that big school is paying that small school a certain amount of money. That's going to hurt other teams as well. Guys, for my third topic, I'll give you my top 5 college football teams of 2020. Number 5, I have the Florida Gators. At number 4, I have the Oklahoma Sooners. At number 3, I have the Clemson Tigers. Number 2, I have the Alabama Crimson Tide. And at number 1, I have the Ohio State Buckeyes. Those are my top 5 teams. And hopefully I'll give you guys a top 25 before the season starts, if we even have a season. I'll talk to you guys about the new Patrick Mahomes contract. A lot of people see it. They see the 10-year, $503 million deal. It's not really for that much money. However, I feel like the Kansas City Chiefs getting Mahomes to a long-term contract is important. With the contract, they'll be able to do other things as far as keeping a good team around him, which is very important. A lot of times you have these contracts that are not done the correct way, and you're not able to still make your team good. With this deal, the Chiefs will still be able to have cap space. They'll still be able to do good things, have good receivers around him, have a good defense around him, etc. Because we all know that if you don't have pieces around a quarterback, you're not going to win. You look at the Baltimore Ravens after they won the Super Bowl, they had to lose a lot of their good pieces because of Joe Flacco's contract. So I believe Patrick Mahomes' contract will be good for the Chiefs, And I believe that he'll bring many other Super Bowls to that team. And I'd say about maybe two more Super Bowls, and he'll have, possibly two to three more MVPs. And then anybody who's saying that, oh, this team is not going to be able to win Super Bowls and will this hamper? I think that's just crazy. Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback, and I believe that he'll do great things going into the future. I think the contract is set up so where the Kansas City Chiefs will be able to make moves. Don't just look at the final number. You have to look deeply into the contract to see what the deal is all about. Next and final topic, let's talk about Keith Lee winning the NXT Championship and the North American Championship. Well, he was already the North American Champion, and he won the NXT Championship from Adam Cole. Great moment for Keith Lee. Keith Lee, one of the great bright stars in WWE. He brings a unique just presence to the ring. He has charisma. He can move in the ring for a big man. It is a big day for Keith Lee, a big day for NXT. I'm thinking that maybe, I don't know how long it will take him to get to the main roster. Hell, do you even want Keith Lee on the main roster? Because with a lot of WWE superstars who move over from NXT to the main roster, Vince McMahon ends up wasting them, not taking care of them. They don't have the right push. This is a big moment for Keith Lee. I know a lot of people have been wanting him to be the NXT champion for a long time. I don't know how long he's going to actually keep the title. And if you're asking me, I think it's going to be for a while because he is just that good. He has that much to give to the brand. Losing Lee would be a big blow to the main roster if he were to leave, let's say, in the next 6 months or something like that. So I'll continue to have him work NXT, be dominant, and only have him on the main roster if he's going to be your main event player. Don't have him come to the main roster just to win, no offense to United States titles or Intercontinental titles. If he's going to come to the main roster, make sure that he is your main event, ready for a WWE title or Universal title push right away. He's that good. He deserves that much. He is not a joke. He is not someone that you can look at as a clown. Keith Lee is the real deal, and WWE should look at him as the real deal, as he would come to the main roster hopefully in about a year or so. But huge deal, becoming the two-belt champion, defeated a very game Adam Cole. You have to really admire Keith Lee and admire Triple H from the great things he's done at NXT and even some of the things he's done on the main roster. Triple H definitely showing why he is almost, I'm not going to say better backstage and in the ring, because he was definitely a great performer in the ring. However, as Triple H has gotten older, as Triple H has done things a different way, he has definitely shown his value to the backstage area of the WWE. Let you guys know my next episode is on Sunday. We'll have graphics and videos then. We're going to be diving into some deeper topics. I'm going to actually give you my top 10 NBA players and my top 10 MLB teams on Sunday. I know before we had topics where I talked about the Yankees and the Dodgers. That's my dream matchup. However, I still have to give you my realistic top 10 for MLB and the NBA. So, for the No BS Sports Zone here on Robb Johnson Media, I'm Robb Johnson. You guys have a good day, and we'll see you guys on Sunday.